Feedback is the key to learning. Preceptors enjoy working with students who learn quickly and take ownership for their own learning while on placement.
Tom, I plan to have my learning objectives completed by Wednesday. In the meantime, I'd like to learn more about your caseload and get an understanding of the scope of your role so that I can set realistic objectives for my placement.
When getting to know your preceptor, make it clear to him that you want to take every opportunity to learn and that his feedback will be a big part of your learning. Observe your preceptor and her colleagues carefully, learning from their modeled actions. Receive feedback non-defensively. Ask for specifics and be appreciative. If your preceptor misinterprets a fact, diplomatically explain your view. Ask appropriate questions to clarify and get more information. Take informed risks, for you, not the client. Stretch beyond your usual comfort level. If your preceptor seems too busy to be there for you, be assertive and let her know what you need from her in order to succeed. Follow through. Complete agreed-upon tasks on time. Try out your preceptor's suggestions and report back on results. Persist with difficult tasks, even when you're discouraged. Return the favor. Regularly give your preceptor feedback about her performance as your preceptor and about the placement experience in general. Ideally, the opportunity to provide feedback to your preceptor will come up during orientation when you're talking about the feedback process for you. If it doesn't come up, you could ask,
"Would you like me to give you feedback too?"
The likely answer will be,
"Yes, that would be great."
Then you can ask,
"How would you like to receive the feedback? And is there anything in particular that you'd like feedback on?"
Your preceptor will probably be pleasantly surprised by the offer and may say something like,
"I always worry that I'm not providing my students with enough guidance, so can you be sure to let me know if the amount of guidance I'm giving you is enough?"
If you and your preceptor have not set the stage for reciprocal feedback, you can still approach him or her when something comes up. Choose a private location and an appropriate time, such as the end of the day or during your mid-placement evaluation. Here's an example of how you could start off.
"Jamie, I've been doing some reflecting about the placement so far, and I wondered if you'd be open to hearing some feedback from me."
Or,
"Jamie, can I give you some feedback about this morning's session?"
"Sure."
"I did a lot of preparation for the interview with Mrs. Allen, and as I was going through the interview, you jumped in a few times with questions I planned to ask, but hadn't got to yet."
"Oh, sorry, I couldn't help myself."
"Do you think that the next time you observe me doing an interview, you could sit a few feet back and see how I make out on my own?"
what is the appropriate feedback to give your preceptor? A question to ask yourself to determine whether the feedback is appropriate is, what is my motive for giving this piece of feedback to my preceptor? If your motive is to make a suggestion that will help your preceptor to make your learning experience better, and perhaps the learning of future students as well, then go for it. Focusing on what you need for a good learning experience will take the focus off your preceptor and reduce the likelihood of a defensive response. In today's busy practice environments, preceptors sometimes don't take the time to get a good handle on their students' learning styles and needs. Thus, it's up to you to take the lead and ensure that your preceptor understands what you need to make the placement a successful one. One of the most common complaints from students is that their preceptors are too busy and don't spend enough time with them. If this is the case, you'll really need to take full ownership for your learning and work with your preceptor to find ways to make the placement work for both of you.